I did. You make it seem like I was a bum. I'm in the effing Hall of Fame.
Okay,
I got 3 Super Bowls.
So what?
So what?
He's way better than you are.
I'm better than you.
Better.
See what you do? You take personal shots.
No, I don't take personal shots. You started it.
Time out. You would take a personal shot. Wait a minute.
Oh!
You would take a personal
Put your glasses back on.
Can I finish? You're willing to take a personal shot at me and say this man is better.
Wait a minute. This is just straight hate by a guy who's jealous that he is still playing at a high level at 45 when you had to stop at 35.
Yeah, that's what you do.
That's the point.
That's what you do. Every time I call something into question, I'm jealous.
No,
yeah, I did what
I never said you were jealous of Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, I see what you do. You take personal shots.
No, I don't take personal shots. You started it.
Time out. You would take a personal shot at me.
I didn't take a personal shot at you.
Wait a minute.
What are you talking about?
You would take a personal
Put your glasses back on.
Can I finish? You're willing to be better than me because I say he's playing bad this year?
Well, because you just
Go ahead.
you disrespect him. It's just so. You know what? It's beneath your
You would
dignity.
disrespect me to support him.
No, well, I'll support him over anybody because he's the greatest player ever played your game, and it's by far.
Have at it.
Okay,
Take off,
I'm
bro.
going to have at it.
Oh!
I'm going to have at you because what happened yesterday? The Bucs defense was horrendous yesterday. What happened? They win the toss and they defer. Let's give the ball to Brock Purdy so that our defense can go shut
Hold
him
on,
down.
let's go
Shannon,
back.
What happened on the opening drive?
You're willing to take a personal shot at me to say this man is better than me because I say.
Bro, why the fuck would you guys do this shit to me? Bro, you can't have shit nice and AC. I swear to God, man, you can't have shit nice and AC. Ooh, why would y'all do this, bro? Why would y'all do this?
So if you think I was not going to talk about this, you got another thing coming. Before we begin today's topic, I first like to state this is going to be a very long video. If you're not a fan of long videos, you may want to bypass this video. 2, this video is going to be full of I told you so's, I told you so, I told you so. All right. But it seems like we're witnessing the beginning of the end of Skip and Shannon as we know it over there at Fox Sports 1, the show Undisputed. Particularly with an incident that happened a couple of days ago. And this is a accumulation of a lot of events that's been transpiring over there at Undisputed. Even, outside the studio, still to this day, Shannon Sharpe, his agent as well as Shannon Sharpe, when they were in negotiations with Fox Sports 1, they wanted a contract where Shannon Sharpe was going to get paid as the same as Skip Bayless or even more as Skip Bayless. Shannon Sharpe believes that he's the biggest star when you're talking about him and Skip Bayless. Now, a lot of people, I feel like they get it kind of twisted and confused. I think Shannon Sharpe is a big star on social media. He has a huge impact, a huge audience on social media. But that social media audience does not translate to the viewership of the show Undisputed at the end of the day. Because at the end of the day, Shannon Sharpe is getting checks from Fox Sports 1. His biggest checks are from Fox Sports 1. Not from YouTube, not from Twitter, not from Instagram, hell, not even from Twitch. His main check comes from Fox Sports 1. And Fox and Undisputed has been struggling ratings-wise. And at the end of the day, advertisers want to advertise their products on the winning show. And as of right now, it's First Take. First Take is blowing Undisputed out of the water. Now, 2 factors. One, and I told you guys this in many live streams and videos, that at the end of the day, ESPN is in more markets, in more households than Fox Sports 1. Let's not get that twisted and confused. 2, the new dynamic of what they're doing with First Take now, ever since they moved Max Kellerman to his own show and moved them with Jay Will and Keyshawn Johnson. He's doing great work over there on that morning show over there at the Worldwide Leader of Sports. But if you look at the dynamic of First Take now, you got Molly, who's still there, and you got Stephen A. Smith. Love him or hate him, he does have a huge audience when you talk about that show. And pretty much the turnstile of people that he debates each and every day. At one point he had Tim Tebow. Michael Irvin is doing football. He debates with Tim. He debates with Mad Dog. So that dynamic has made First Take even more popular than Undisputed. Meanwhile, Undisputed is getting killed rating wise by First Take. And at the end of the day, Undisputed is just recycling old topics. The only three topics they ever talk about, other than what's going on in sports entertainment, is having a debate. Is LeBron James the GOAT, the greatest of all time? Is better than Michael Jordan? Or they'll have the topic of the Dallas Cowboys. And I'm a huge Dallas Cowboy fan, but sometimes I even get sick of listening to Dallas Cowboy topics. And Tom Brady. And this is the same set of circumstances that they find themselves on each and every show. And therein lies a lot of these intense arguments like they had a couple of days ago. So the topic was about Tampa Bay and Tom Brady. Who deserves the most blame? What's going on with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? A lot of people had high expectations of Tampa Bay. A lot of people penciled them in as making a deep run in the playoffs. You had some experts believing that Tampa Bay was going to be in the Super Bowl. Everyone had high expectations for Tom Brady. Even though Tom Brady, a lot of his key weapons are either retired or gone in free agency, he just don't have those top key weapons like he had in previous years. Plus the defense, a lot of key acquisitions have left their defense. Also, they got a new coach over there. So it's a accumulation of a lot of unfortunate circumstances for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But at the end of the day, you still have to produce for whatever you have on the field, and they've been struggling. All right, the struggle has been real. And this is not a good year for Tampa Bay Buccaneer fans. It's not a good year for Skip Bayless, who champions Tom Brady, calling him the GOAT, the greatest quarterback of all time. And therein lies the discussion. Shannon Sharpe is in his bag saying, like, Tom Brady is struggling. He's getting a little older. He's not producing the same type of production that he did in previous years. Even though Skip Bayless is trying to goat Shannon Sharpe into committing to, is he washed? Is Tom Brady done? Now, food for thought. For the past 5 years, ever since Tom Brady was a quarterback for the New England Patriots, Shannon Sharpe would always pencil him in as a wash. He's done. He should just retire, just ride off into the sunset. Football is he would always make this discussion. Football isn't like baseball or basketball where you can go out on your own terms. More times than not, sometimes football opens the door for you as you walk out. Sometimes it's not your decision whether or not you're going to continue to play football. Football is a very tough mentally and physically sport. It takes a lot of toll on your body, your mind, and you don't see a lot of older football players still playing football. So that was Shannon Sharpe's argument. And he's been, for the past 6 years, penciling Tom Brady in as he's washed, he's done. Now, the previous couple of years, Shannon Sharpe had to rein it back a little bit because Tom Brady was producing. Not only Tom Brady would make it to the Super Bowl, but he will win Super Bowl. He will win these important games. He would have this team all the way deep into the playoffs. Tom Brady stats prove that he should still be playing quarterback for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and in the National Football League. So Shannon Sharpe had to scale it back a little bit. He can't just fall on the sword of, well, Tom Brady is old, Tom Brady is washed. Now, this is the year where Shannon Sharpe, and he's been throwing subliminals here and there on a lot of shows, particularly this year, about Tom Brady. He won't say the wash word, but he would say Tom Brady isn't Tom Brady like he used to. Now, he chooses his words very carefully. He's not committing either way. But if you listen to what Shannon Sharpe says, basically Shannon Sharpe, and I'm paraphrasing, Tom Brady is done. He's blaming all the misfortunes on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on Tom Brady. I do feel like Tom Brady deserved a lot of blame in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers not performing at its highest level. But I feel like there are other things that need to take some of this blame pie too, which is the defense, the coaching scheme, and the team as far as finding weapons for Tom Brady. Antonio Brown is no longer with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. When you talk about, oh my God, I just had his name, the tight end. His name is Garth. Anyway, Gronkowski, and I always butcher his last name. He just chose retirement and he never came back. So Tom Brady, his two favorite weapons are no longer there. Now, one can make an argument the reason why Tom Brady is struggling is because he doesn't have his old faithful weapons, or he just don't have a lot of weapons. Now, a lot of people want to point out that he has Julio Jones, but he has Julio Jones out of his prime. All right? There's a reason why Julio Jones, when he went to when he went to Tennessee, he really didn't do anything for the Tennessee Titans. And his prime, he left his prime in Atlanta, where he was a dominant factor with the Atlanta Falcons. He done had 2 pit stops, Tennessee Titans, and now Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Look like he's going to have another pit stop in his immediate future. But they don't have weapons. The defense is getting a little long in the tooth. Plus, they have lost some key acquisitions. I do feel like the brain trust, the trust issue I feel like it's taking a major hit with the coaching staff and Tom Brady. And I feel like all of those things are accumulations of why the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are underperforming and they're struggling. It's just not only Tom Brady. Now, I understand where Shannon Sharpe was coming from. Look, if Skip Bayless is going to give 100% of the credit to Tom Brady when they win, Tom Brady should get 100% of the blame when they lose. Okay, I understand what Shannon Sharpe was referring to and was talking about, but those who know, and what we see is Tampa Bay has more serious problems than Tom Brady. Now, everyone knows Skip Bayless is a huge advocate of Tom Brady. He made some outrageous claims, particularly the show that happened a couple of days ago, talking about how Tom Brady is in the film room more than the coaching staff. I'd say that's baloney. He sort of blew off Tom Brady's divorce with his wife. He felt like Tom Brady had the mental stamina to rise above that, and that wouldn't affect his play on the field. It clearly did, okay, as well as other things. All right. And just simply making excuses for Tom Brady's underperformance. Now, you would think that would just be, okay, well, they're just disagreeing on Tom Brady and Tampa Bay Buccaneers, okay? No harm, no foul. But where it was sort of out of bounds for Shannon Sharpe, and I'm going to say sort of out of bounds, and I'm going to explain to you why I say sort of out of bounds for Shannon Sharpe, was Skip Bayless saying, look, Shannon Sharpe is jealous of the fact, and he's a hater of Tom Brady, because Tom Brady is still playing football, and I think Tom Brady is, 40-something, and Shannon Sharpe had to leave football at 35. And Tom Brady is a better football player at his position than Shannon Sharpe, which is true. At the end of the day, Tom Brady is a better quarterback than Shannon Sharpe as a tight end. Now, I will say this. I think Shannon Sharpe is a lot of people want to say Jay Novacek. A lot of people want to say Clark. A lot of people at Gates. A lot of people throw out these tight ends' names, but I feel like Shannon Sharpe is the best tight end in the National Football League. But at the end of the day, teams don't build their franchise on a tight end. They build it around the quarterback, because the quarterback's going to have the ball the majority of the time. And if you have an above average quarterback and an elite defense with some weapons, you can go some places, as the Baltimore Ravens. All right. But if you have a quarterback that just elevates everything, if you give that quarterback weapons, a decent defense, 9 times out of 10, you're going to win the Super Bowl. Okay? It's just the bottom line. All right? Look at the Kansas City Chiefs. They didn't have a phenomenal defense, but they had Mahomes boy and those weapons, and they won a Super Bowl. Okay? So, at the end of the day, yes, Tom Brady is probably, better, is a better quarterback than Shannon Sharpe was as a tight end. If he would have rephrased that, even though Shannon Sharpe would be sort of triggered by that and a little hurt by that, that's fine. Okay? Because that's no lie right there. But what really burnt Shannon Sharpe was the fact that Skip Bayless said that he's jealous and he's a hater and he's just mad because he didn't get the most out of his career. And I'm just paraphrasing. And basically through the line I just mentioned, Tom Brady is better at his position than he ever thought about being at his position. And that just sent Shannon Sharpe over the edge. So much so, Shannon Sharpe had a high-pitched voice. His, he was disturbed. He was a little shaken. He was set back a little bit. He even took off his glasses and said that Skip Bayless took a shot at him. Skip Bayless denied that he didn't take a shot at him. And he was speechless. That was the first time I have ever seen Shannon Sharpe speechless. All right. He said, he was saying stuff here and there, but he toned it back some. He was no longer the aggressor. He was more of defending himself. All right. Now, Shannon Sharpe did, and he almost was going to pull this, that when they was going back and forth saying Tom Brady was better in his position than Shannon Sharpe was about to say, well, I'm better than you, pointing at Skip Bayless. Basically, I'm better at my craft than you was. When I was in my prime, I was an elite tight end, okay? Can Skip Bayless say he was an elite analyst, an elite writer, reporter, okay? So he was getting ready to take it there, but I think personally that falls on deaf ears, because what you're saying is you're basically giving it up, sort of saying that, okay, yeah, Tom Brady is better at what he does than me, even though technically it's sort of true. So Shannon Sharpe was taken back. He was flabbergasted, and he also said something. And I look at people's body language, and I listen to what you say. But more importantly, I listen to what you don't say. And one thing he said that threw me back a little bit was, you'll do anything to big up Tom Brady, even, embarrassing me. Embarrassing wasn't the word he actually used. He basically said that you'll insult me to big up Tom Brady. And then Skip Bayless. I didn't think Skip Bayless, was going to have the stones to say this, but he pretty much co-signed to what Shannon Sharpe said. He said, "Yeah, I'll do that." And a lot of people not giving Skip Bayless credit on this, okay? Skip Bayless had stones and said, "Yeah, I would do that." Basically saying, "Yeah, I would do that even over you." So he's choosing Tom Brady over his partner on Undisputed. How wild is that? Okay? So this blew up on social media. A lot of people were talking about it. A lot of people made videos on it. They did 4 or 5 hour live streams on it. You got Jalen Rose calling Skip Bayless a culture vulture, which is just classic wordplay, which really doesn't have any rhyme or reason. It has no importance in the fact about Skip Bayless. Now, if you want to talk about, look, Skip Bayless, this is what kills me about a lot of people when they talk about Skip Bayless. Skip Bayless has been using these tactics for years, folks. So to sit up here and call him a culture vulture, to sit up here and say you was taken back, you was astonished, I had to take my glasses off, obviously you have not paid attention to Skip Bayless. Skip Bayless can be a savage sometimes. But like I told you earlier in this presentation, there's layers to this, and it's really much more deeper than that. I've told you this in live streams and in videos, and I'm going to say it again. And Jason Whitlock, which I don't agree with everything Jason Whitlock says, but shout out to him. He pretty much paraphrased what I've been saying for the past months and years. I think this is a lot deeper, and it really reared its ugly head in negotiations this past summer. Once again, let me set this up again. When Skip Bayless was a free agent, everybody was after Skip Bayless. He was a high commodity. You had ESPN that wanted Skip Bayless so bad, and they was going to pair Skip Bayless with Stephen A. Smith. But they wanted Skip Bayless so bad that they was willing to not only pay him the money, but still allow him to continue to do Undisputed over there at Fox, and then do the shows for ESPN with Skip Bayless. A lot of and the dynamic between Skip Bayless and Stephen A. Smith, these were going to be ESPN Plus shows. There was also going to feature Skip Bayless in every important game or match that ESPN is televising, the NBA Finals, the best boxing events, UFC, football, basketball, golf. They was going to have this dynamic on all of their popular showcases and still allow him to do his show Undisputed for Fox Sports 1. It gotten so bad, Fox Sports 1 had to pay him more to get him to sign back to Fox Sports 1. But if you paid attention to a recent interview by Skip Bayless said that he just didn't feel like uprooting his family back to either Bristol or New York when they're quite fond of Los Angeles. And that was the only major sticking point as far as him going back to ESPN. If ESPN headquarters were in Los Angeles, then this would probably be a little bit harder decision, but it really wasn't a decision. He was always going to go back to Fox Sports 1. So Fox Sports 1 bid it with themselves. They overpaid for Skip Bayless. Now, this summer, Shannon Sharpe contract is up. They're negotiating. I've said this in this video as well as other videos and live streams. Shannon Sharpe and his agent said, quote, we want, when Shannon Sharpe re-up, we want Shannon Sharpe contract to either be similar to Skip Bayless or more than Skip Bayless. Shannon Sharpe is a high commodity. He's extremely famous. He's extremely popular. The kids love him. He's a huge hit on social media. All of those things are true, by the way. But here's where a lot of people get it twisted and get it wrong. Undisputed, the actual live show, premieres on Fox Sports 1. It premieres on DirecTV, Comcast, or whatever internet provider you have or satellite provider you have. Those big time companies that advertise on that time slot are buying up those ad spaces for that show when it's live. They don't care that you chop up the show a billion times for the YouTube audience, because a lot of these organizations who's signing those huge ad blocks when the show is live, they don't make a dime from that show when it's chopped up and it's placed on YouTube, or when it's placed on social media, or on TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. So in order to keep those corporations, those companies, you have to have some major ratings, and Undisputed has been failing rating-wise when you compare it to ESPN. It seems like ESPN is doing everything right. Everyone thought that ESPN was going to take a step back when they got rid of Max Kellerman. They actually doing better when Matt Kellerman departed, and now he's with Keyshawn and Jay Williams. He also has a show in the afternoon, but it's not slowing down the progression of First Take. Undisputed, on the other hand, has struggled. They tried several things to get this show up and running. They got rid of Jenny Craft. Jenny Craft. I forgot the new moderator that they have. I'm so sorry. It'll come to me. They also, they tried and experimented with a lot of things, and they thought, you know what? Let's just recycle these old topics. Is LeBron James better than Michael Jordan? The Dallas Cowboys, Tom Brady, and whatever sports topic makes its way that particular day. And it's not working. And like I said, Will Bond said something that I've been saying for years. And the show is not doing well. And Skip Bayless knows that this show is not doing well. And I feel like low-key, he's kind of upset with Shannon Sharpe, because Shannon, the reason why the show is struggling, because a lot of those viewers have moved on because of accumulation effect of why they have moved on. You know, they're talking about they're debating the same topics each and every day. That's going to kill your audience if you keep talking about the same things over and over and over. All right. Fox Sports 1 is not in a lot of households in the world. Let's just face facts and face reality. Okay. When you look at it overall, they are struggling. And it makes it worse when Shannon Sharpe wants to be more of a character, a prop, than being a professional analyst or a media member. And Shannon Sharpe is only concerned about what goes on social media, particularly his Twitter page. And that just erupts Shannon Sharpe, because Skip Bayless. Because Skip Bayless is looking at this like, well, wait a minute. You're entertaining the wrong audience. You're entertaining the audience that, yeah, you get your numbers on your accounts, but none of that translates to the actual show itself. And I'm pretty sure they have had conversations about this. But Shannon Sharpe is Shannon Sharpe. This is going to be very bad. It's going to kind of remind you of when Stephen A. Smith and Max Kellerman departed. Max Kellerman was no longer his partner over there at First Take. They moved him to Keyshawn and Jay Will. He's doing some great things over there, as well as his own afternoon show. I can see the same thing happening to Skip Bayless, but in a lesser fashion. I can see them possibly re-upping Shannon Sharpe. May not pay him as much as Skip Bayless, but pay him pretty decent. And they'll probably do a show around him, a lighthearted show that's going to be dumbed down, sort of say, with comedy skits and props and zingers and things of that nature. Remember, Marcellus Wiley said this in an interview, that one of the reasons why he left Fox Sports 1 was when the powers that be had their discussions with him and Acho. They were saying, look, we love Speak for Yourself, but it's too intellectual. Can you dumb it down a little bit to make it appealing to the audience? So you got two of the most intellectual brothers on Fox Sports 1, and you want them to, quote unquote, dumb it down for the rest of the audience. That says a lot about Fox Sports 1, Fox Sports 1 audience. It's just sad. And I feel like they're going to do the similar thing to Shannon Sharpe. Now, Shannon Sharpe has a dilemma. And I told you this, guys, months ago. Shannon Sharpe, if he becomes a free agent, I think Turner Sports will pay him very well. I think Fox Sports will probably pay him the least. ESPN will just pay him more on the simple fact that he used to be a member over there at Fox Sports 1, And anytime ESPN can purge or steal some of your help away from you, that's a good thing, i.e. Troy Aikman. Look at what Joe Buck and Troy Aikman's doing over there at the worldwide leader of sports. Sit here and tell me that does not have a major impact on Fox Sports 1. I dare you to tell me, oh, it doesn't really matter. Because it really does. This is going to be very ugly. I don't think this is going to set up like when Stephen A. Smith and Max Kellerman departed. I feel like this is going to set up to where Shannon Sharpe is going to leave Undisputed. And they're going to do one or two things with the show itself. It would not surprise me none if they do similar to what Stephen A. Smith, have a different guest host each and every day for Skip Bayless to debate. I felt like if they would have kept Marcellus Wiley, he would have been easily someone that could have taken the place of Shannon Sharpe. I felt like those debates would have been a lot better than, even though Skip and Shannon's debates are entertaining, they're funny and this, that, and the third. I think Shannon Sharpe has, to me, I think Shannon Sharpe works better, with his props and his one-liners and zingers in that way. But I think Marcellus Wiley will be a better person to debate Skip Bayless, because he would just take it to Skip Bayless on an intellectual level. He has played in professional football. He's been in this sports entertainment, this journalism for quite some time. He's just going to take it to another place. And I don't think he's going to come with it with Skip Bayless with a bunch of props and a bunch of one-liners and things of that nature, or use social media somehow, some way. I just think at the end of the day, that's what they're going to do. And since Marcellus Wiley no longer works at Fox Sports 1, Jason McIntyre may do it. They may do a trial where they may have 2 or 3 people come to the show and debate Skip Bayless. Now, that could happen. But another thing could happen is they re-sign Skip Bayless. Shannon Sharpe, but they get a new understanding with him. Like, hey, this is Skip Bayless' baby, and he doesn't want the props. He doesn't want the he doesn't want people used as props as well. He doesn't want the one-liners, the zingers, the third. He just wants you to come in, prepare, and debate him without all the side antics. And they would probably give Shannon Sharpe a little bit more just because they're asking a lot from him. But at the end of the day, I feel like Skip and Shannon, days are numbered. And they're simply, I feel like Shannon Sharpe is either going to stay with FS1 or he's going to get bid very well at ESPN. ESPN would love to have Shannon Sharpe, even though they don't have a show with him. They would love to have Shannon Sharpe. They would love to have Shannon Sharpe on their platform. But yeah, that's all I got. Hit me up in the comment section. I know there's gonna be a lot of people that says this video is too long, or they're gonna come out with their their PowerPoint, their presentation. I think this is the beginning of the end. I've been bracing for this for quite some time now. It just seems like now everybody is making these videos going, oh man, this might be it for them. You know, the Dreamer Pro show is now making videos talking about it's possibly the end for them. A lot of other entities, Ticket TV, Casino for Life, you know, Rated R, Showtime. A lot of people are stepping up and saying this is possibly the end of both of them. Okay, but yeah, guys, tell me what you think. Rate, comment, subscribe. It's your boy, the host of the most. I do not brag for boast, and I'm coming to you live from coast to coast. It's your boy. I'm Chris the Down One. I'm outro.